Dunga mebe dewa tamenda warjuji semje tamje nirang chadani tandawe tanyola ne warjuji semje tamje dewa Deve judan demar juji semje tanje dunga dan dunga jeju juji semje tanje dunga bebe dewa damenda juji semje tangje niro chada nida nawe danyo la ne warajaro je asa je bonje me dona re ra le je ne de jambande Sanye shanda mede bawai Roga nanda shanda chobar sho Yedam rana meda la kame yame. In English on page number 11. I take refuge in the Guru. I take refuge in the Buddha. I take refuge in the Dharma. I take refuge in the Sangha. From now until my enlightenment, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. And by the merit created this practice, may I attain the state of Buddha with the benefit of all sentient beings. All sentient beings enjoy happiness against causes. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and causes. May all sentient beings never be separated from joyful bliss. May all sentient beings fly in equanimity, free of bias, attachment, and anger. This ground, a mountain with perfume, strewn with flowers, mountain mirror, encircled by the four continents, surrounded by the sun and the moon. I visualize this Buddha field of offer. May all living beings enjoy the pure now. On page number 14, the foundation prayer.
English or Tibetan or both?
Tibetan. Nam Nam da dang se dong par song pa da chen ma me be nye pa nye jur so dang de song war chen de lo de nye ju de nye wo de nye ji ne na je shen do ne zong ba ye dong je na ju jo le me ye Om Be Song Jin Do Par Chen Yin Lo De Nar Nam Sa Don Be She Nye Da Su Shen Ru Be Zhu Nan Sha De Yang chen dang na ge par do cho ble so nye war she chen je la du so che wa gun do yang dong la ma dong Rame Shinji Vala Long Zhang Sadana Ye Yon Den Ran Zoni Dorje Shang Ye Po Pan Yur Go Shou Greeting to all of you.
땅아주 딴데 망쳐와서 gambar kalli 방부자 때 kalli 더 정거 정나 땅아랑도 소소런 거지 노동도 나와 자연도 저 던던 얌리지 르바드들이세 던던 것도 노디 시트나 something 레원도 때 잡려진다 아주 뜻이네 연대 이절마도 지금 라브름 차성스 되는 이거 또 차성스를 비치는 좀 로트나 something 삼도 키고지
So here today in this class, and most of you are the long time great practitioners, and also been really working hard to put all your practice. And so what I'm thinking, maybe from today we can go through the foundations prayer, or the foundations the teachings which taught all the teaching of the Lamrim, and it has all the steps of the Lamrim, the path of the enlightenment, the practice. And so maybe if I share this teaching, so in that way you have some sort of like the bucket of the teachings that you can carry and you can put into your daily life.
다 마오노 그 소매양 피가 미양 피는 그런 직접 나오는 트레이너 네 트라이기로 좀 아주 단다 람든 삽잔로 시셔나 지망 좀 남들 봐 서전로 도와라 트라이기로 꼭 좋은 거 상관없이
So in future, Of course, when Minyo Rinpoche he come here and he will lead the class and he will lead the hopefully Lamrim, the detail of the Lamrim, and in order to enter the understand the Lamrim, so I might like to introduce the brief introductions of the Lamrim, which is taught in the foundation prayer. So it will open up your, the road or the map of the Lamrim. So in future, when you engage the intense or the detailed Lamrim, then it will more kind of like understandable or more clear.
자다 동보 때라 연등 그 이지 진짜 쓰는데 발람지 자와 랑버 통는 바바 기와 첨부 때문에 신기로스는 띠 마스터는 띠도 동시
So if you open the page number 15, the foundation prayer on page number 15, the first verse, the foundation of all good qualities is the kind and venerable Guru. Correctly devoting to him is the root of the path. By clearly seeing this and applying great effort, please bless me to rely upon him with great respect.
근데 집당하니 아주 연든 르비 소송 아랑도 지지 당하라 소기라 연든 길라 지고르 연든 지어라 소 연든 종사가 개인식 된 거거든요. 개인들라 쓰진다 된 거다. 띠 돈도 드셔 버지.
So this first stanza is talk about the mainly the talk about the to finding the master, the root guru or the master. The reason we have to find the right guru because the first of all we want to change ourselves or we want to transform ourselves. In order to transform ourselves, of course, we have to have the great the treasure of the knowledge. Once we have a knowledge, we could able to change ourselves. And in order to gain the knowledge, of course, you have to have the right instructor or the guru. So that's why this first stanzas talk about the guru, the master.
다네 개인 세트 한다지 땅 거죠. 저는 오늘 지나 개인 생이 땅단 바지나. 대 잡을 자동 생이 지세로 뭔가 요르는 소 심상고 거지.
So when so here's the things we have to find the master or the guru. So there are tens way or tens the steps or tens the numbers of the authentications to finding the teachers. But I would like to introduce three of them.
네 소네 그런라 개인절라 소소랑일라 디 랍토와 연den데 무슨 소바지고 요래지.
The first one is of course, the teacher who are qualified to share the knowledge.
연den 요바잡지 조금만 연den데 파절라 빼고 섬네 냥지 지근이 섬지 등을 세버데 데 냥지 전부도 라고 그러지.
And not only just able to share the knowledge, but have a great compassions.
근데 신바테 가서 개진 상심전에 소소의 파 도중진의 파 멜라베 답산로 양수 소랑일 시장도 와이 바지 소소는 시아바나 소 받을 지스직 타바지 뭐 그러지.
And the third is of course, when the master preach his and her students, and of course, talk about the pacifying and a calm mind, and so on and so forth. But first of all, the whoever preaching, whoever giving the teaching, the master, he or she also, first of all, able to obtain this all knowledge, have a great the knowledge of the pacified mind and calm mind and so on and so forth.
다 텔라 정화 지금 그 아주 닌 찾는 담바스 중원은 텔라 게트 거를 사기 상호 가르고 그러잖아. 때 고양 참고가 뭐 보죠 그러지.
And so these are the three things that we should look toward the teacher or the master. And the next is the what we should have in order to become the right the students. What we should have as a student.
답하고요. 답하대 답하다가 답하면 원 토기 답하죠. 따디기 연든 된지 요때 연든 등알아 토고 근데 삼비 돈도지 연든 돈도지 답하고요. 답하던 냠때 띠냠때 기십고요. 그러지. 근데 쏘마요. 존지고요. 그러지.
And as a students, also we need to require Sumra 3. And the first one is the we have to have the great intentions or the interests, or another way saying like faith toward the so there, as you know, there are three kinds of faith. And so here we're talking about the one of the most important faith, what we call the longing faith. Longing faith, which will like, may I able to obtain, accumulate the master knowledge, and some kind of that kind of like a wish, a strong intention or wish. So this is the first requirement as a student, and second is and have a deep respect toward the master, and third, of course, great efforts.
아니 기십 맞지나 나르길 전부시나 소속일라 연든 좀 좋다고 말했지.
And the second one, as I said, having a great respect toward the master, because if we have a strong negative pride, then we wouldn't able to collect the knowledge from the others, especially from the master.
답하면은 텔라 진도 그 좋아도 거 말이지.
If you don't have a faith, especially longing faith, then you will lose the interest toward the master, toward the dharma. Then you wouldn't put any efforts to go after or look after the finding the master. So that's very important. First of all, we have to have a faith.
소아메나 수도 릴로 원트 손네니 다 릴로 넘버 3 세시고 띠언트 손네니 샤와트 다 수준 높이 돈데 너무 늦고 말이지.
And the efforts, the third one is efforts. As I mentioned earlier, efforts. As students, we also have efforts. If we don't have an effort, then we always fail to achieve the whatever we wishes because of the laziness. So there are three kind of laziness will create a great hindrance to your path.
어때 저다 안에 게트 사진 차벌섬 동담바드긴 사진 차벌섬 동담바드기나 아니 쇼파니든 난크샬라 난과 프렌드와 나자네 소소소는 높이 돈도 자정 럽전이다 타로 당담 시비 살라 랩터와 치고 그러지.
So once once you from the teacher's side and the student side have this immaculable this the wonderful knowledge or requirements whatever needed, and then what we call that we are equipped with the two great wings, Once we have two wings, then we can able to fly, and in order to accumulate, in order to succeed our practice on our path. And once we have two great wings, and then of course we can fulfill our wish, as well as ultimately we can liberate ourselves.
어때서단데 다 연든 근기 지깃 연든 용사가 자원로때 가리에즈나 소소 같은 전지 인들이 아니 때라때니 연든 소질은 저거나 가르쳐다 또 수준도 된지네네 때라때니 렌 템바이나 또 남즈남도 연든 용사가 자와 차대요래 또 로버톤의 소소랑이 그때 임방이 내서 하고니 또 통이 때라 아니 배 존지 첨부제나 존재 첨부진의 기위인 덴바이나 기와 첨부 덴버 덴터버 덴지 용터버 신기로우지다 람 아주 람랑 공고 당보데 긴 덴스도 덴이 용아르지.
So that's why in this the foundation prayer, the first verse, it talk about the qualities of the kind venerable guru, which is finding and relying on the venerable great root guru. And once you find, and you have to correctly devoting toward him or her as your root master. And uh, um, so by seeing the clearly seeing uh, the all the knowledge and so forth, then you apply your a great effort in order to achieve the knowledge. And at the end, you always maintain and keep your respect, deep respect toward the master.
어들 다때 마원한 거라서 소소 라마 자긴 라마 땡기나 라마 때는 집당하니 치 냠버십바 잠 텐들라 가요 뭐 라만드 심하잖아 교요 말이지 왕셰나 인침이요 라민드 신적으로 원도도 원토고 말이 원 셰라 당보 라루니가 돼 차당다 가지고 요때 아니 차당다 가지고 맨날 원토고 말다 그 라마기 라마 코랑라 차당다 가지고 코랑 왕 토부들이 냠바고도 송티 돈도 지금 왕 니완로 내땅로 왕들 뭐 뭐요도 정말 하고 와지지 네 왕골고르마도 랑아간 영어제 지금 추가 전능 시야점 영어 끝나 왕 코랑 차이 청고 말 원년 근디게 네 땅에 때라는 왕도 년진 되게 아니 왕도 토송나 될라 때는 이 샤워도 단지 봐 접지니 가송 접지기 연진에 더 근데 안에 좀 거마도 되니 마찬가지나 원토그 요깔에 호르드네 아니 때 세마좀 거르지 당보니 당보 라마 왕걸 근데 라마티 니 땅로 간다 가르지 로기 저주죠 같이 모르지 말하는데 나한테 전기요지.
Speaking of finding a guru or the master, uh, uh, I think it will be fine that first of all, like whenever we kind of heard or the heard about there will be a teachings, then without any looking detail about the okay who is giving teaching, what's the background, about the is he or she is the qualified authentic teacher or not, and so on and so forth. You look detailed background, and then you can go and get the teaching, with before you do all the investigations. But I think just receiving a teaching, I think it's okay. You just go and get the teaching. But when it comes to Wang initiations, I think I don't know. But for me, I think it is very important to we have to investigate whoever giving giving these initiations, make sure he or she is authentic master. Uh, make sure he or she also have that kind of knowledge of initiation and have that knowledge and receive that knowledge from the authentic lineage master. And not only that, you have to see all the conditions and and not just like the master able to do some very detailed, fancy ritual performance. By seeing that, we might fail to understand not only just look outwardly, but inside. We have to investigate whether teacher is qualified or not. And once you find the that master is a qualified and authentic and great master, and then of course you go and get the initiation from the master. But once you receive the initiations, then you have a great the responsibility to fulfill the duties that you agree from the master. uh, to fulfill all the duties and also as well as the maintain and do whatever the master give the instructions.
나 왕세 때 가지고 톱동 미ቆ르치가 왕톱송가 올람송때 묵식 말라지 니와로즈 쇼치터데 요 말이지 콜라 니와데 톱동 요 말이나 콜라 가르요 콜라 때 지치고 초진식 되고 그러지.
Mhm. But sometimes we mistakenly think that, oh, today I received empowerment and from the well-known master, and you pretend or you think, oh, today I'm very special, I'm very powerful. Kind of we think that way. So this is I think mistaken. We shouldn't think that way. Once you get initiations, and there's nothing like you should think that I'm a powerful person and so on so. But you only just receive permissions. That's all. You receive the permission from the master.
인사다니 왕 차등 담바 토발라 당보 코랑 왕 남긴 코랑라 왕도 봐 이듬 강니 이니 성진이 마지 이런 바데 코랑 와 톱고 코랑 톱 가지고 와 톱을 때네 제 코랑 나가서 나랑 때 초신다 땅가랑 톱 땅가랑 소소는 데 이듬 되게 나기 고문에 하되게 샤와 강당 강지나 지초가 초신을 때 냠바플 진석들 가르치나 아주 지초고 그러지.
And for example, when we talk about the giving uh, the permissions, of course, the master himself also received that kind of permission from the lineage. If you go back to if you look the master himself also make sure and that master receive that permissions from the deities, Buddha, and especially from the master.
tama tong homa tin lor yor chi lama ka wang nang ni wang mar da ka ger ka long nang da mi mo ka li yin da ka mo ro tama thar thar zo ko la zo da chu zo pe ka wa dang da bar wang to da long sha zong to re ngan da da to yo mar si se ne ka ma tna ka na yo mar mi chang da la
And there's one time in Tibet, I think there was a Lama who is giving
long
the oral transmissions of the Ganjur, the Buddha teaching Ganjur. And once it's finished, and he said, "Oh, today very special. You receive the Ganjur, the oral transmissions, teaching." But sadly, I didn't receive that.
대사다 소소 나가라 소소 때나 왕스 지난 게 나가도 왕스 지고 샤와 때나 다 니토박은 레카르스 때기나 니토박 때는 내 정도 그 니토박 지 척벌다 초천때나 초천때 그때 때 왕샤고 요를 랭크 때라 디 님들도 그 니토고 샤와 때 들어 샤워도 듣고 뜻이 somata kanto yetukbe 원차도 고 파워 진나리 원진나리 따또 왕로 차로 들으시겠어요 마 직진나 베일나
Uh, so this is initiation is all about the giving permissions and of course instructions and so forth, but mainly permissions so that the student can continue practice. So if you talk about the worldly, activities or worldly permission, it's like the police. When whoever join the police, then in order to receive the power or authority as a policeman, then of course they have to receive the permission from the higher uh, the police officer, right? So one higher police officer said, "Oh, from now you are, whatever you are," and then you have a power of, to serve the community and so on and so forth. And then he or she, we call it police officer, and they have what we call they have a power or authority to to watch rules and so forth.
따때 실럽이 나는데 원차든 던져지서 토통대 도주대
So this is the whatever we call it, whatever we name it, like either we call it like it's a blessing from the higher police officer, or power process, or the permissions, or whatever you call it. So this is something like that.
대지도다 된 르즈들라 시도 된 르즈들라 된 춤 쓰고 뭐가도 된 농진 가서 먹고디 롱ton다 될라 때네니 저 냠는 지고가 춤 쓰고 뭐부터 요르지 또 상승 것도 봐 상황도 봐
So of course, once you receive the permission from the higher police officer, and since then you have a power to do certain kind of, like, you have certain access to do, and not only that, you have also responsibility to maintain a certain discipline. Similarly, in the practice, also, especially when you engage the vajra, the vow, and so forth, and then there are certain, like, the discipline you have to maintain.
근데 대체다 나랑에는 그 무슨 경우도 단들이 같이 했으면 나랑 소속은 냠는 쇼진 그때렇게 매치 옛날 나랑다 나만다 답아 나랑 세시 용거지인지
So yeah, having said that, for myself, I'm I don't have that kind of qualifications, such knowledge about the teachings, or the initiation and so forth. But I could, humbly, I can say that I have a strong faith toward my guru.
저기 쇼크인 하오리 온단 약할이 그때나 알라라만 니사도 요 정말 좀 맞지
And early morning and before I go bed, I have 25 good guru, and I usually remember early in the morning and before I go bed.
어떤 사당에 띠 텔라테니 로종지 정화지 좀 방법으로 티션럽을 때니 니와를 때니 당에 때 메라지 판독 요때 좀 내려와도 좀 요새.
So that's why I have a strong faith, and I am able to keep the pure motivations and the connections between my guru and between guru and myself. And because of that blessing I received, I thought that very blessing that I have. So whenever I talk to you and give some instructions, I hope that whatever I said is really helpful to all of you.
오야 다 란칭 예비 따위 대전도 신든 예가 돈 주시기는 염증 근데 형을 레벨 이쯤에 버텨오신 게 로세 더 노트별 봐봐.
The second verse on page number 15, understanding that the precious freedom of this rebirth is found only once is greatly meaningful and difficult to find again. Please bless me to generate the mind that unceasingly, day and night, take its essence.
당하는도 직당하는도 미 리튼데 톱드니 미 리튼데라 그래서 마르시와 동고와 그러 같이 셰시게 남쪽 인더 드라고니 티톤도가 삼모탕 시게 저 당하는도 미기 탐모 많이 연도 지때 뭐가도 미디 리튼데 톱반데라 때네 때가 남슈거 빠지고자 근데 란칭 예비 따위 대전도 된리가 언니 차동단 바 아니 사업을 지 저도 밀리트 몽보였다 밀리트인데 배추 당한 대한 지 여러 것이고 치쇼고 소소 랑진 탐질 펜토와 된리기 쇼라 배추 당그 때 배용용 시가다 그래서 된리 란칭이 바다위 대전도 당 란칭이 비토세인데 저도 배 예적 갈리 갖고 용 바디도 고고르지 된리지 흔든 얘가 돈 시견데 된리지 녀도 된다 단데 고급도 약수적인 마소도 하고네 아니 될 배추 당 거를 뜻도 저
So this verse um, is talk about the precious human life, uh, and of course, once we have this precious human life, uh, as a human being, we have like many wonderful we can do, such as uh, we are able to express whatever we want. We are able to think, by using our mind, and so this is all we can do because we obtain this precious, the human body or the life, and and not only that, we have a great wisdom of the intellectual mind, and but even though in this planet there is a numbers of human beings who have all this potential, but there are very few people who only engage what we call the engage in kindness, have a kindness or the moral the lifestyle, or maybe who are engage always dharma. So there are very few compared to rest of the humanity. And so the verses talk about this the precious woman life is found only once, meaning also talk about the difficult to find again, because of the even though we get it, but it is very rare to or difficult to people who always engage this moral kindness activities, and this kind of like reminding us that once we know it is very rare and to find, and once we have it, we should not waste this precious human life.
달로와게 당주로 지 다들 저도 지막 저 고트 지고서 이 돈을 받쳤다 달위 대성세 달와 될 달와 랑요 받 gel지 근데 될 저위에 달와 길 조로와지 아주 될 무슨 소비 땡긴로 저 한번 생각했던 거죠 그렇지.
So next, maybe next time I will talk more about the the precious human life, and about the fully what we call the fully endowed human rebirths, and there are eight that we have, and the 10, and the involvements of the practice.
대성도 신든이 같은 지식이었는데 된리가 언니 다와졌던 줄었던 된리 리튼데 토바다 하중 염천제 소소고 들어가지고 손들 밀리 런칭 밀리 토바들라 소소도 냐바도 냐지지 소소고 등 같은 봐서 소소 어떤지 토바다 근데 배주 당네 염증 근데 용어들도 인든 참여하지니 대 배주 당리 인시다 배주 마당은 그 싸가 정도 될라 옆에 이게 다는데 니마니마를 조선에 그 니마치 그거 말을 근데 요니런데 아주 직당 리세드 모델로 이해하죠. 이해하지니 겨왕아 마티 문도 상니 이해하죠. 단다 리텐데 이해하죠. 이해준도 다당 알아도 배치 당네 겨와시마야 리텐 잠바 렌토하고 맞추지고 때나 겨wan데 처럼 지르면 로도 고마다 단당 아주 레로 온도 손에 리텐데 전날 리텐도 코까지 같이 맞다가 이제 존이 맞아 매 카트로 카트 손 띵이 못해 소소 체들라 다 레가르 상나 띠기 겨와지 맞랑로 된자당 아주 단다가 리텐데 랑요와 소소 리텐데 토바트 배치 당네 니 겨와시마가 잠바쇼 타와탄 탐지 집에 공부마도 나 겨와시마 밀리고랭 타와가 된 맞추지고 그랬다 님즈 근데 용올랭 유데 때 인체매 버티어신 길로 스타트 디동 나바 인전 참매라 디동 나바 탐주도 기위쇼라 샘로토와 삼통고리 뜻이거든.
Um, so we have to know that this the precious human life is very difficult to find, and once we find and make sure we use this in a good way, that we always uh, store the good merit in our life, which we can use either use this life or the next life, and uh, it's like the it's like a car, like you we use the car this life, the it's like uh, when we the lend a car this life, using on this life, and how long you want to use this car, and when you use this, and you know, as long as you can, and when it's finish and finish. And similarly, this our life is like this. We have to use this day and night, uh, and kind of like generate the mind that what is it, unceasingly and day and night.
베네교랑 나와지 그 라자칸님 잘라도 야르잖아. 아니 다 잘라도 배주 당니 지마 나와지 그때 양 리아트와 그때 존이 되는 거 사트나 다 캡성 거다 맞을 다 야르죠. 나와지 그냥 토고 안 거즈니 때 정말로 존이 도 예잖아. 때 도고때 나와지 그래네 거 켄으로 맞도 지가 하고요. 때 배주 당니 소소글 지마트 야르트와 조토나 다 단주르지 밀리 토파데 지마 리틴데 렌트와 조토나다 때 캡성하다 그랬어. 맞보다 지마 리튼 단다 야르는데 겨왕아마가 싸가지고 아주 또 놓고 야르죠. 때 뒤쪽 조소나 때니 살성.
So this we borrow this body, and the treasure we have, or let's say money. If we have the certain amount of money we have, if you don't use this properly, for example, uh, you know. To lend someone in order to you get the great interest from the money, kind of like investing your money. If you just keep it home, then that money never grow. It will stay like this. But if you invest the money, then you will see the result, such as like interest. You will enjoy the interest, or you will have the. Similarly, the body is like that. We borrow this body in this life and use this to accumulate the merit, and in that way we can see the great result and like interest in the future life, because this body we have, that we are able to obtain or borrow this body because of the we did good investment or we did a good accumulate the great amount of merit in our previous life. That's why we have the good result this life.
다 오마테 이송이와 치치월 니도 지kin 치와담보다 휴이질리 담담바 간로딘 지신 정화이 니도 일레 저신 로신더노 신정화 이와다 버리니 니스 타송다오네 다든 그때적서 때 올라텔라다 린드 짜쳔보임 바이나 마땅 바임 바트 셔게도 샤시네 다때 저소도 능도 도와들 지는 그듯이
들로셔봐. Okay, so let's stop here and maybe I'll take a questions. The next is talk about the impermanence, and it's not only just one verse. We have to go through two verses, so better to stop now, and I will take questions if you have any questions.
Actually, I have a question about impermanence. We have lost 28,000 to date people in Turkey, in Syria. 5 million people have been displaced from their homes. And so when you're, even though you know intellectually nothing is permanent, nothing lasts forever, how do you cope with such a profound and devastating loss, where you're maintaining some kind of hope for the future so that you don't give up and dissolve into despair, but at the same time you're still able to accumulate merit and you're still able to be a benefit to others? Any insights about how to deal with such profound and devastating loss? Even if it didn't happen to you directly, it's still unsettling and tragic to people all over the world.
Yeah, the the Turkey the artist to chungsa mi mambo hopamiani mi tar chini house mi devon cheni mi the minute matambata ni penima to say about sha chiosara kanjimaji tende hopamiani tende ni sumpe sambachue tende chadu sambata chigila mashuen de chadu samani kandiru chini mazu la geshiru chagi na kandiru chila samyu na ani tenderu chi
그때 개통지나 가정아도 때 럼버치 어떻게 돌아가고 보는도 뭐 있어. 이능은 나름 그 삼선나 나딱고 종화가 같이 지으면은 그 종화가 가르와. 지트 메어로 줄때 지트 메어 어떤 호텔 용때 아이나 때 한ton도 따때 용스 빠질 세트 치지 바 미지 바 사이지 바 롱지 바도 용거도 용 지트 메어 줄래. 당하고도 지트 요강하고도 미기 미세치니 더 러시아다 단다 세이 단다 진영치라 단다 먹지 가도 어떠네 유크레인이 로이나 다 로치거랑가 말 미기 천사서 미셀도 등 앞에 항토를 셈는 거 배교용 것이지.
Yeah, so last few days with the Arjurumbuche, we had the very intense the ritual practice, and we did a special kind of prayers people who lost and suffering in Turkey and in Turkey
Syria.
in Syria, and but when I when I heard this news and when I saw this kind of devastating this suffering, and I also feel kind of like feel very sad and cannot fit into my mind. It's unimaginable news. But this is the caused by uh, the the elements, and as the nature, Mother Nature created this, and so sometimes we have the problems from the water, earth, uh, mm, the wind, and the fires. So these are the kind of like caused by the imbalance elements, which we cannot do anything. It's and when it happens, it's very devastating. Um, but what really makes me sad and uh, hard to understand, actually hard to understand, because not created by the nature but created by the human being. Like it's been almost, I think, a year. It's almost a year, right? But still war is happening uh, between Russia and Ukraine. uh, People killing people. So that one is really I don't understand.
오늘 삼백개월 정도 된 로송 걸 미세 걸다 다때 배 염서로
Because not only just killing, but they spend a lot of money, tons of money to killing people. So there's those when I heard this, it's very sad, and also doesn't make any sense. 뭐는 저 딘디 쳐도서 막 거리선 빵 맛이 있다는
근데 저통 지나던 거 조지 제목 특징다 같이 지스 연는 때라면 가도 지면 그 지금 아롱도 따트와 된 아롱도 뭐는 게 될래 샨도지 파수 강에서 딘디 강라 지금 혹시 터나다 된 아롱도 지터가 지금 제고가 지금
But so uh, uh, whenever these things kind of happens, and like earthquake and tsunami, and which destroy many people their life. So as you know that the great quote by the Shantideva, if there's any way we can do, why you worry, just go and help. If there's nothing we can do, again, why you worry, just be peace and forget about it. So if you can do, you just dedicate and say prayer, make wishes, or you can send donations to help them.
I don't have a question, but I thought it would be interesting if Geshe would talk about, he was talking about a master, how they transform us. But if he could just speak just a little bit about the lineage from the Buddha to the great masters, to Shantideva, to the Dalai Lamas. I just, for those of us who may not know that, it's just such a beautiful lineage that we're following.
The motivato the mayena kela dichi conditioner sang the gain the cola dichi sona manzo the da rimjun lama da the da rimjun jora and da sangi ni sone ani shandi dewa da ni paro mu shandi jun da rimjun jora ndi cola the pe yam chambur the cola manzo disco sone cola sonu chilas.
우리 다집동 염친 차사데 정말 염친 차사들이 너는 아주 직발해지. 옛날 염친 가르치는 샘거네. 그래서 삼로고 당당 거네. 니 정말 연기도 봐. 뭐도서 리허 있은 거 샤워 강도 거지나. 심지 연락 주고 연락 진짜 연락 반도 지금 쫓대랑 거. 로 동동 뭐 소화나 디 망도 사다. 디그 된 차때 더 많이 비 그런 거 샘 같은 거 같이 그랬어요. 근데 따뜻히 시럽 그 잘랐더니 양지가 라 이가 봐 속식도 내용을 쏠 밑에 라지는 젠지돈데 깔지는 알와 매와지 근데 좀 알고 젠지돈들 런게 캡송이나 야 따뜻히 젠드 런게 캡송이면 젤라티 펜토제스 깔고 찾고로 영문나 영문나 망 강터 되지 아주 미지가 짐바당나 파당나 영능아 미지 요시에 매와 양문나 니 코지망 알라 집 양지 렌스 라토 매와서 딘데 제와지 지고 선지 셈바 서통불은 여러 무슨 돈 딘데 그 요마 꽁지한테 파 반도지야겠대 다 공부 못 가려 요즘 단답인데 로아도 마조 바바도 직된다 양저 스키니 심지 탐지 렌지 돈 시바티어 기억을 내와는 거 인생은 그 컨트롤 고마트 지마 공 페게를 페게 말이지 좋아당소 페 마프세 등아 사 롱반들 펜도 용 것들 좋나 뒤종거래지 펜도 맨날 안지 용 말이지 어때 렌트 나갈 스텐서다 고정 거 뭐인로 강라 펜도는 될라 종거도 성 성지 좀 된데 강라 미와 소지나 뒤인데 도와지 그지 아주 샘땅네 미와 단 답아요나 성지 강나 그 몰미기 또 강나 나 요다 버렸어요 실험직이 버렸어요 또 아주 답았던 때면다 선진 원수는 전날에 찍고 말다. 뭔다 봐.
He'll talk loud. Okay, so
다 논로 디나데 양지동 셰르비 또그 종의 니와지 그랬어. 또 아무ዞ라데 결정 셰르비 셰르비 딘 당가면 zbu chali chi bar chong.
okay, so Gishila, you said when you said like it is wonderful and beautiful, uh, uh, wonderful and the beautiful. What really makes the wonderful and beautiful? Because the level of the body or the physical, we all same, and what makes really different and remarkable and astonishing and so forth, mind, you know, the capacity, the great capacity of the mind that he or she had. For example, um, the great being or like Dalai Lama, they always thinking of the sentient beings by or they always for the sentient beings sacrifice their mind and body to sacrifice sentient beings and and uh, and then over 1,000 years we can still remember their name because of their kind the service and the work they done. Even though we cannot see them, but we still remember their names, and because of they have a great compassions, the compassion that can endure no matter how hard work, how difficult situations they always can able to face their difficulties. Uh, Otherwise, as a ordinary being, we might help other, maybe giving money, food, or any help them in any way, in any directions. But we have always have some kind of expectations from them. Maybe they will say something good to me, or maybe they will do something good to me in the future, or maybe they will express my name, that what I did. So some kind of like great expectations or hope there when we help them. Where the great being like the Lama, when they help, they don't have any expectations. They just wholeheartedly they help sentient beings with the great compassions. Dalai Lama always expressed the one of the quote, until the sentient beings remain, I will display able to dispel the sentient beings' sufferings, and until this space remains, right? Until this space and sentient being remains, may I be remain to to dispel the sentient being suffering. So that kind of wish they make, always, and and also when the journalist, when they ask the question, Dalai Lama, is there any next Dalai Lama? And he's always reply, if sentient beings need it, of course I always come. If they don't need, I will cease my reincarnations. Uh, and so we are seeing that uh, as long as you have a great intentions, faith, or the motivations, Buddha is always here. Otherwise, Buddha is not here.
그래서 니와 셔럽동 영지니 때다 니와 치기도 셔럽도 길라이나 닐링고마테 또토고 셔럽 닐링고마테 또나 샤워 가는 거다 노트용 거 말스 영지 전부 요난 영지 전부 디 니와 때를 때니까 때는 알와 용거 말스 간 한도지 되나 제알라 고체나 때 레와나 때 용거 알와 용거 말 뜨니 손도나 때니 샤워 간다 용 치동직 때 샤워 간다 잘리 짓통 거르지
Mhm. When I say the great the mind they have, I'm talking about the great mind of wisdom and the compassions, because when we have a great wisdom, then we have the great tool that we can able to understand the reality, and we can realize the natural reality. And when we have great compassion, was have a great strength that we can endure all kinds of difficulties, or we can carry. We don't have any kind of like a feeling avoidance toward the burdens.
Okay.
So last week, my sister died. She was 26 years old, and since childhood, I have seen that she's been very active in spreading Buddhism back in India. She has been an activist for Buddhist teaching to the students, to the underprivileged students. She used to visit there and she used to share the Buddha's teaching. And she had been following Buddhism since like our entire family following Buddhism really religiously. She was a teacher as well, and I have seen in my observation, she had always accumulated good karma. But still, this happened to her that she died. Like, uh, unfortunately, she died. So, why did that happen to her? I mean, we always say that suffering and everything happens to us because of her bad karma, but based upon whatever we have seen her, she has always accumulated good karma, but she's not with us today. Why did that happen to her?
뭐 그런 게 빈게 부모지 요니 로니 자두라 통도와 니전 통사 신사라니 뭐랑 그런 게 다수다이나다 뭐랑 아베낭 낭바지체 아니 같은 앞에마서 준도 낭초 담린치 등에 덤바 도유전을 타고 양리치 등에 디주고 많이 뭐랑 디 가도에나 카와도나니 돈비기다 직랍샤도 돈비기다 추스는 말인데 야마 베로 and 차와도 망부치요레스 다 가지만 이제 마라톤이나 뭐라베 마시 카드나 내가 베 차와야고 이치기래 남바이 먹나 네치송치 아니 남베숑시나 나타 뭐랑기다 손남다 데데 간지도 망부사요레스 이나야 아니 나 일을 마셔야지 가르치스나 지난 게 먼저 지난 시에나 먼저 저런 차와 두제시나 내 두제 코비래 차와 야구치나 내 야구 코비래 시고르다 이나야 뭐 차와 야구치다 근데 로춘주고도 없다면 통과해야 되는데 간대를 했어.
그래. 땅땅 알아서 미기 리든지 렌차를 썼었대. 치와기 전에 남친님이지 성지송. 치와기 땡기다 그래. 같이시기나 하고 뭐 땡기와 요 말에 맞죠. 대사니 가시 말리기 맞고 식으로 가시로 가시는데 가시 던진 시시거랬다. 아니 가시 뱉는 맨다오나 시기거를 가시 랑시 잡고 그런데 가시 단 나네 랑싱 되게 시거. 실력을 시동 만들어 시거. 아주 시행이 진실이. 이나다 뭐 마친디랑나 마치랑 다니랑데 지젤란도 바마치 지나 컨트롤셔도 뭐런 거 얘기 또 그랬지. 내가 아주 내일 와라 뭐 지켜와시마야. 저당단 바지 미 자 용서 그랬다는 체드 다나 마친들라 체 통통서한테 지 영기 예동 견스 요기랑 배나 연습식 뭐 시주나 가르치는 땅에 들어왔들 렌드는 있어는 어때 공만도 제세지 용거도 때 나한테 뭐 시스템에 당기때 염증 가르치는 데 노총총나 공부도 공부때 강이나 미 교실 듣고 말할 때 이나 그 처음 맡아 봐인다 맡아 비랑진 찾던 아주 샘나가 시트면은 저런 거 당아주 양성도 저런 제와는 전지타도 많이 더나 요거서 엄마는 보는 세대 세대 링을 있으면 총거로 그런 거 봤더라 저런 benye pomula 먹니 띵 링을 있으면 당 아주 남바이나 길에는 남바게도 파도스니 매와 차요 만데 겨워셔마테 발리트 카트니야 파도 겨 바로든 디바로 드니 겨워져 발랭고 되나 디바로 길 바라테 링을 있으면 못돼 셰르부터 현지기 장한던 요르쇼 전에 겨워요 고질레 버쇼지 말이 바탕 때들 지금 등을 그것도 만들어서 된지 모르는 거나 한동치 보여 상고도 싫어. 그 일단이 단을 때 삼도.
Um, um, I'm very sorry to hear about your sister. I have deep sympathy to your sister. But this what we call in Buddhist we call the impermanence, and uh, the death is certain, but we don't know when. The death is certain is 100% sure that everyone will die one day, but only don't know. Question is when I will die, and but the sure is the death is certain, and so there are all kinds of death occur. Some die right after they're born, like they're very like kind of baby, or in the belly. And some die after a couple of years, and some die because of the of violence, such as shooting and stabbing and so on and so forth. And some they do suicide, that kind of death, and some die because of the severe disease, sickness. They die. So there are different occur because of the impermanence, the nature of the impermanence, and which is certain that we all experience the death, but we don't know when it will occur. And uh, so uh, I know like from what you said that your sister did like immensely like did a great job to maybe accumulate a lot of merit, and but I really don't know what is the cost of her death, because I don't know. I don't have a third eyes that I can tell. If I have a third eyes, or if I can see the through the clear lines, then I could tell what is the real cost of her death. And but while she was alive, she did a, wonderful, tremendous, wonderful job benefiting others and accumulating a lot of merits. Uh, and because she able to do the karma she accumulated maybe from previous life, That's what she did. From your eyes, your sister was perfect because she was doing a great job. But because of some, tragedy, impermanence came and that took her life, and I don't know what caused to made her dead. But my suggestion is that whenever you remember her, and instead of just mourning or just thinking of her, it wouldn't help. But rather, I want you to think her whenever she come to in your mind. You always say the prayers of the compassion mantra, uh, Om Mani Padme Hum, the 6 syllables. So Om Mani Padme Hum is basically, even though she left this universal, but she's still somewhere. We call the pardo, meaning like intimate, inter, what do you call intimate,
Intermediate.
intermediate state. Yeah, she's now in intermediate state, and or she might be taking about to take other life. So who knows? But whatever, wherever she are, whenever you remember her, just say the Om Mani Padme Hum, and Om Mani Padme meaning is like may, may sentient beings, or may she be able to experience or transform her body, speech, mind to into the great wisdom and great compassionate one.
chitang ala ta nga ta tapchi ko de isi mang mi mang bu mi chong song no to zo ne chet mal mun do ro chi ne rewa ja ni yore mi ka shi ga ni na pa in den na den yo ko ta wor shu mo nam ja ro chi se gi yore e ko chi ga ni ko zo kam chi te ki yo kam chi te na de ko kam chi ma to por shu mo nam ja ro chi se gi yore ina ngi ni sam sam ngarang ngarang pe sam yo de ngarang ngarang 같이 시기 있는 나랑 간들 로그인 세대 니 다다 당소 듣고요 말 나랑 티치를 뜨니 감시 장동이 같이 넣고 토벌진 시기명이 때 디나는 스도고 덴바요 나때 토벌 쇼징을 못 먹어 거지 다시 손으로 종송서는 이때게 많이 던지데 단당이 교셔받는 시대 못 먹여 되게 바도 감니티 링을 좀더 봐 세력 동년 지장한테 여러 소식이 있는 삼동 근데 나반로는 다 성지만라 창을하더니 성질을 외워다 잠잠 그래고 지금 와도 나랑이니 다 그렇게 뒤치 더 요 말이지 나랑 간으로 간그 지는 단다 시요 말이지
As a monk, we often receive and have a audience or devotees, especially devotees. They come here and they approach me because I'm monk, and they have some sort of kind of great hope that the monk will fulfill my wish. And most of them, they say like, oh, I have a sickness, or member of my family sickness, could you please say prayers and may they be healed or cured. Or some people might say like, oh, someone dead, and could you say prayer and make a good journey, and so on and so forth. And then some the people will come like, oh, I have a today I have a I will have a court date, and I've been fighting with someone and in the court, so please make me win from the court. And they give a donation, but so this all kind of people come to approach me. But sometimes I'm very sad, and because when I observe this situation, because uh, what's make me sad, make me sad, that because people are relying on me and have a great hope, but I don't know myself when I'm gonna die, and other kind of problem as well. And so, but I do my best. For example, when people come and they have a court date, and they say, may I be win, please make me win. Then instead of I just say, is that when I say the prayer, I will just say whoever have a truth, whoever are honest, may they be win. Instead of just say you are, may you win, but I just say whoever have a truth and honest and the right, may they be win. And when someone die, and then I just say the same prayers and make a wish of what I just said. May they be transformed into the great compassion and wisdom one. And when people are sick, I say the prayer to medicine Buddha and say the special medicine prayer, and pray to to them to quickly recovers and the cure.
상기 그 넘치 겨버지 상기 그 넘데 따라 겨우네 상기 좀 던데 교 로아 심신 탐지 그 돈동 오버 오버 상기래 샘진이 상기래 근데 심신 탐지 던다 망불 하도 가르치니 타래 이 가르치니 때 장토요 말이지 상기 렌트 가르 겨우네 심신 탐지 그 능을 등이 통모들이라 능을 등이 인득이 심신 탐지 락바근데 렌트 안 맨두스 네 능을 탐지 이 티갑네 보고 똑같아서 정말도 티갑네 정말도 안 맨두스 강 니와 가르 요르즈네 가르치어는 상기능이 니와 그 섬집한다 친이 대마다 미토르지 이 나는 그 냠용의 토픽 나는 토픽 연든 등이 파 셀저스 어텔라 지슨 당아이나 nga 토바 찾아 통지 톱 그래 어떤 렌트 잡여르지
Um, so, there's a quote, one of the very wonderful quote by the Buddha, and one of the devotee asked Buddha, hey Buddha, and you are the great Lord enlightened one, and uh, you can, you have a power to liberate all sentient beings. And why there's a number of sentient beings are still in the samsara? Why cannot you liberate them from samsara? And Buddha replied, yeah, I can see there are numbers of the sentient beings who are still stuck in the circle existence or the samsara. But I cannot uh, I cannot grab them from the mud of suffering to pull them from the mud of suffering or some, nor I can wash them and their sin or their non-virtues. Or what I can do, I show the path. If they walk on the path or study or follow my teaching, this is only they can liberate from themselves. So this is what Buddha said.
오케이 당 so 처음에는 이런 식으로
Yeah.
Don't
So
put
if
those
you
questions.
don't have questions, let me share you a story.
집당 지나가도 오면은 야갈라나 자와도 먼저 홍잡으로 홍잡는 갈라트 시사 손한테니 마고리 텔레 치시 치시고 다 결혼 찍고 싸웠지네더니 그다 홍잡으로 자 치시 시고 잡아래 치시 시면서 딱 그런 거 손에 있는 뭐 성질이 일라지 차송됐더니 치시르다 코페 세미나 세바견이 다 마시와는 등을로 이제 그것도 송알서 다 시와때 등을이 이제 그것도 셔서 언니 봐서 진다 되겠다 년에요 딱 고치 마시와는 등을이 이제 그것도 년에요 딱 마시와때 그 시와지고 셔 마시와는 등을이 이제 냠도 감정 거스 거니더니 그 진다 되게 냠는지니 우리 빠져서 봐 못을 도중진이지 마베 람 통보를 해버렸어 때 돈도 가르쳐거든 쉘 마시나 년시나 된게 랭기 요래서 그러다 너도 파쇼 되게 그 시와 등을 했을 때요 그런 셈나다 그런 요거 시시면다 등인 저리 또 그런 식으로 그러다 파쇼 년 되게 파쇼 그런 마시와 때 등을 했다 장고고 때 고알렘 말지 때 돈도 가르치나 쉘 마시나 년키나 돈도 된 렌트 기요래서 같이 채웠어
So this is very very interesting story. So the traditionally the the Buddhist tradition, we walk what you call the arm, right? Arm, and this is how you pronounce arm. Arm.
Alms.
Alms, yeah, alms, yeah,
ALMS, right?
yeah, alms,
Yeah.
yeah. So you walk for alms, every door, and but the rules is that once you have the alms, or once you have the food, then you have to say the 4 lines of dharma, 4 lines of teachings. So there was a monk who are uneducated, meaning he doesn't know any dharma, any teaching. So he was walking for alms, and then after he had a food, then he's supposed to say the 4 lines of the teaching. Then he doesn't know anything, so he was very sad. He was very sad because he doesn't know anything. So he just simply said, "Oh, knowing nothing is a suffering. Knowing nothing is a suffering." He said that. And then landlord heard that, knowing nothing is suffering. Oh, this is a good teaching. And then knowing nothing is a suffering, I should, I should study, I should learn. If I know, I will able to eliminate my ignorance, and so on and so forth. So because of the great intention that landlord they have, and they put great effort, they the landlord studied really hard, and able to attend the liberations. So this story shows that it doesn't matter if the preacher or the teacher who giving teachings doesn't make sense or not giving properly, but as long as the teacher is not a very good teacher, but as long as the student are good listener, then you can sometimes you can collect the wonderful knowledge from them.
일단 아주 삼로 당치는 아주 뒤처지도 님천이가 되게 아주 나게 개인지 땡기다 그러지. 아딱 받동이다 그러던 아주 뜻이요 말이지.
So, like we often fail to, see and recognize the great, one of the valuable lessons of the Buddha teachings about the uh, changiness or the impermanence. Because in every day we experience the all kinds of the seasons of the weather, changiness, but we don't look that way, right? This is impermanence. This is the changiness, and so but we look differently. So, if we look carefully, listen carefully, teachings always been taught.
닌 찬제데 님무저는 참모시랑 때 맞다 바로. 근데 맞다 봐서 참서바 참모시랑 등 녹통서 등을 요럴 때 등안 단 랑진이 선데티 가게 용도 냐니 기쁘지래. 님무시랑 저 어긋나 와셔 지내는 배나 소라도 등 아주 미미치 때 가지 참참이 기고요 참 강요. 때 이나 아주 랑진 삼통 특별 말씀 말도 다때 병알 먹으시 지송 무슨 강은 때 직당 랑진 가도 인천 지원하죠. 나신로 지레다 그랬어.
Mhm. And also, especially day and night happen all the time, right? And but we look them differently. We call it day or night. But if you look closely through the spiritual way, we can think as an impermanence. Day and night also teach us the valuable lesson of the impermanence of the change, or the changeness. For example, of course, when the when the day gets dark, and or the become night, sometimes people may be a little bit sad because, oh, now it's night, no light, very quickly get dark. But if you think differently, or this is the natural impermanence, and when it's dark or when it's night, it's time to get rest, time to have a good sleep. But when it sunrise, then you can think, oh, this is the great the light of the day. You can think that way. So our life is like this. Sometime happy, sometimes sad. It's always change. But we should not concern too much that only happened to me. If you think that way, it wouldn't help, because you just think that this is a natural life. It's happening with everyone, like a day and nights.
Yeah.
Okay, now we'll say the closing prayer on page number.
Just
Um, okay,
What page again, Temple?
page number
80.
page number 8080. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. If you would like to make a donation for this teaching, it would be greatly appreciated by the monks and the monastery. And you can do this by calling 812-336-6807 or by emailing the center at tmbcc.kcl@gmail.com. And for those here in the temple, if you would like to make a donation, it would be greatly appreciated. And I will pass around the bowl. And if you cannot do so, just a prayer or a mantra in the bowl is perfectly fine. And thank you, Geshe and Temple, for the teaching.
Gang zi tang pa cho la chi cho se zhen zhe la zo ba de yi te de nan ji da de zhou xi zhang 扎西江左手根
超
长
绝金，宝殿早为阿玛仁波切，大苏
年根儿把米
天说那卡殿
真不过内集中的。可颂得见念者早得所上车身着人不及马杰巴那吉吉吉瓦娘巴没本样公内公德百文少刚日让为故为上公德安当的我马里中为你上日子王等着娘做也下辈身体把的等儿去要不把我今儿见不到松波电样的人的大根结就是大罗江给我的大胆子让的我的送小别要我当自己我看那求的我把的大人给为早晚的跟踪上波就是让的我儿子半夜中的担保的上去但这就他们去更更早的去更老的这个容易你上街担保道德节节去这个更的要我总管理当初新年你是这边的要为我别马上的年里天气怎样都不马